This is my favorite wheel, has been ever since I made it. It's got a screen here in the middle, which is fantastic. It's just so great to have the screen on your wheel and always know what gear you're in, etc. Sometimes the point of view that's most comfortable for me in the sim on the screen doesn't allow me to see the dashboard very well, so this always I can always see the dashboard. I'm using Sim Dashboard, I think it's called. That also has a feature that you can, if you're on a mobile device, because this is really just a phone in there, then you can use the camera and you can just take a picture of a code on the site and it'll load whatever dashboard that is that you want. I don't use that feature a lot, but because I always use this dashboard, but it's there and I can use it. It makes it really easy to change dashboards. Power button here for the phone, turns it off. You can see now that I turn it on that it's a phone. Sometimes Josh gets confused and thinks it's a phone when really it's just a dashboard. That really only happens on startup, so not a big issue for me. This wheel, as much as I love it, and it's been really the only wheel I've used since I made it, except for when I'm doing rally games, because then I need the full circles. Any other game, I use this wheel. Absolutely fantastic. But I'm still going to rip it apart and use parts of this wheel for my next wheel project. Reason being primarily is that the hub, the Fantech Podium hub, is really expensive. It's like $200, and I don't want to have that lying on a wheel that I won't use. And I probably won't use this after I build my new wheel. Or maybe I decide I don't like that one and I'll go back to this and I'll just rebuild this. So reason why I'm building a new wheel is because I bought a race car not that long ago, and it uses a Momo 27C wheel, and I really like it, and I want that wheel in my sim also. It's slightly smaller than my old wheel, but I think it's worth changing simply so I have the same wheel in the car as in the sim. The button box for that only has like 4 buttons. You can see here. I was going to just duplicate that for the sim wheel. However, I really want to have that screen in the middle. And having that screen in the middle is going to change some of the things I want to do there, because it's kind of the first template I made. Screens here. I can't have a top button because the screen is going to be in the way. So I'm going to have more buttons on the bottom. I can probably fit like 2 buttons and an encoder here. I don't think I necessarily need that much, so let's see how much I'll put there. Maybe I'll just put 2 buttons on each side. But trying to figure that out right now. Also trying to figure out the hole pattern. So this is actually from my car. It has a three hole pattern. Not entirely sure if the hub supports that, but the new wheel doesn't have any holes, so I need to drill them. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do there. Printed out this template. It seems to fit pretty well. So I might just go with the 6-hole pattern that I had on my old wheel. It's gonna fit pretty well with this also. But we'll see. Maybe I'll go with the 3-hole pattern. Ultimately, I guess it really doesn't matter. It's just more holes to drill if I do this one, and if I go with the 3-hole pattern, then I have to change some of my 3D files. Anyway, so I'm making that. I'm not sure if I'll put an encoder in this one, because I did buy a new control board that I never installed in the old wheel to get the encoders working. If I do, I'll probably update my old videos also with a link to how to do that, if in case any of you made this fantastic wheel and want to get the encoders working. But we'll see. Maybe I'll just go with buttons on this, because that's what I have in the car. I also do use button boxes on my sim, so I use the encoders there. I use a lot of encoders on there, and all of the view changes, moving the seat, etc. I use encoders, and I have a lot of them on the button boxes. I'd never be able to put that many encoders on a wheel, at least not of this size. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my old build videos, and maybe then you'll enjoy these one also, and follow along and make one for yourself. But either way, I enjoy it, and I'm sure I'm going to like this new wheel. So have a great day, and see you on the next one. Alrighty, so test fitting the wheel. The vertical line is pretty straight here, so I'm happy with that. Had to drill out this hole, make it a little bit bigger. May do the same with these, but that's fine. Still going to be pretty solid. It's not going to have any wobble in it. The Fanta Cup did have a 3-hole pattern, but it was upside down compared to on my race car, so I decided to just stick with the 6-hole pattern, because I already kind of had a template from my other wheel, making that a little bit easier. So yeah, let's see. Feels pretty good. It is narrower than the other wheel that I made. Still not uncomfortably narrow. We'll see. Maybe after a couple of hours race session, I'll start feeling it. So that would probably be the only reason that I might change back, because I do tend to spend more time in the sim than in the real race car. But I would like it to be the same wheel though, and be as close to the sim experience as possible. So, assuming that my fingers just get messed up, I'm gonna continue with this wheel. Feels pretty good though. It's a good wheel. It's comfortably molded. The Alcantara material it's not the softest I've had, but it's definitely softer and higher quality than the one on the other wheel, which was just a cheap wheel that I got from eBay. Anyway, so next step is to continue with the shaping of the button box, and stay tuned. I apologize for the background noise. My 3D printer is going crazy trying to print my next version here. But as you see, I've drilled out all the holes here. I made this 3D printed template which has a notch here in the middle, which I drilled a hole in the middle where I had it marked. I also marked the circle on the other side, so you can see it here. This is by no means perfect. It's good enough for my purposes, but if you're a perfectionist, you may wanna mark your own holes and drill them out. But I'll probably include that 3D file anyway in case you want to use it. Makes it a little easier. Now, the process of creating a button box, because I'm no 3D designer, so don't really know what I'm doing there. So my boxes tend to be a lot of like just basic shapes that I stretch, cut, and edit into what I eventually need. For this one, I of course started out with a button box for the other wheel that I made, this one here, and as you can see, it's basically the same thing except I cut away this part here that had the encoder here and these buttons, because otherwise it won't fit in the wheel here. So this was kind of the first one. It gave me a little bit of sense of fitment around the wheel. So next I cut here, made another print, also cut away here, as you can see, these 2 holes here, make more room in the wheel. So this is kind of my next template. It's a little tight here for the thumbs, they do fit, but I want to make it a little bit wider, and it's a little bit of space here more than I want, so probably narrow that gap. Which I actually haven't in this one. This is the next print. I didn't do a whole lot of changes here. It was getting late. I just wanted to have something new to work with in the morning, so I cut the corners here and printed it. Other than that, there isn't really much changed here, so it's a bit of a waste of print, but while I'm doing these rapid prototype prints, I only use 10% infill, so I'll never use this actually on the wheel. It's way too flimsy. Once I actually print the final, I'm going to go with something between 70 and 90% infill. Probably 90%, but 70 I would assume is enough. So yeah, so next print, which you can hear, is printing now. I've done actually a lot more changes. I've moved this hole up, added another one below it, both sides here, because I want to get 4 buttons and 2 encoders. That's at least my current plan. I've also closed off these, it's more like a box here, so it's these have been filled in, and I have extended it down 3 millimeters. I think that's probably going to give me a millimeter gap maybe, so I think that's going to be good. But now it's back to hurry up and wait for the print to finish. These prints take a long time, so it's usually long breaks between prints. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.